Hi everybody, I'm Sam from Paper Crane of Hope. I'm an online counsellor for introverts, INFJs, empaths, highly sensitive people, people who have autism, and just people who are socially awkward and just feel like they don't quite fit into society and the world. I also leave paper cranes in the community with little messages of hope and healing. You can check that out on my Instagram. Make sure you follow. We all know how exhausting being a parent is, especially when you're an introvert or an empath or just someone that needs a lot of alone time so that you can recharge your batteries. It's so important that as an introvert that you are having that alone time, because if you don't get that alone time and you're not recharging your batteries, you can't be the best version of yourself, like one that is that loving parent and that parent that always shows up for your kids. You're not going to be able to be that unless you take care of yourself. My first tip for you is learn your value, learn your worth, learn to love yourself more. I think the problem is that with modern society, with the way that the world is set up, with the way that Hollywood portrays parenting on movies and TV, is that the best parent, the good parent, is the one that's always running around for their kids and going places and doing things for them and being that martyr and being that person with that high energy and just going from like one errand to the next. And if you're an introvert or an INFJ or, part of that whole spectrum, hey Marley. If you're an introvert, you're not going to be able to function if you continuously live your life like that. And I just want to encourage you that if you need to take time out for yourself, there is nothing wrong with that. You are teaching your children the value of self-care and self-love, and we are the biggest role models for our children. So if you are constantly self-sacrificing and not taking care of yourself, you are going to teach your children that they are also not worth looking after themselves. And as they get older, they're not going to learn how to have self-care. They're not going to learn how to have that alone time. So they'll be so grateful to you for that, for you being able to teach them to look after themselves. I bet you that at least one of your children is an introvert themselves, and so they are looking to you for guidance. They know that there is nothing wrong with them, that if they want to have alone time, that's a beautiful thing, and we need to nurture that in them and we need to teach them. You are doing the world good by valuing yourself, putting yourself first, because when you do that, that's when you're really going to shine as a parent, and that's when you can really help your children and help them learn and help them grow and help nurture them. Okay, so I get it. At this point, you're probably really frustrated with me because you're probably like,
Sam, I know I need alone time, I know I need to recharge, but you don't freaking get it. I have 2 young kids at home, or I have 4 kids, or I have like a football team, or 1 baby, or whatever. So how am I meant to have alone time? I know I need alone time, but how am I meant to get it?
I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. All I can share with you is what I have done and what has worked for me. So tip 2 is communication. And I believe that we can learn and teach our children communication from a really early age. Maybe cognitively they won't understand it, but I just think that if we practice communication from the beginning, we're only going to set them up for better relationships and better friendships and just be a better way for them to be able to be in the world. So with communication, I believe it's so important to communicate your needs Communicate to your children that you need alone time and why you need alone time. Explain to them, I'm an introvert. That's what I tell my kids all the time. I tell them,
Mummy needs to be alone right now. Mummy's feeling overwhelmed. If I don't have alone time, I become cranky mum. I be grumpy mum.
and they always tell me,
Oh, we don't want grumpy mum. Okay, mum, we'll give you that time.
and basically from the moment they were babies, I've been making sure that I have that alone time from the get-go. Even if that means your baby is in the room with you, I believe it's really important that we teach our children how to play independently. As I said before about society painting this picture that we need to be a martyr, well, they also make you feel like you need to constantly be giving one-on-one attention to your children and to always be playing with them. But if we do that, they are missing out on some really fundamental building blocks for their brain and for their imagination and for their ability to be able to problem solve and to be with the feeling of boredom and to be able to overcome that feeling of boredom. Yeah, from the moment that my babies were born, I gave them independent playtime. Obviously, as a baby, it was a lot shorter than what it is now as they've gotten older, but I would put them on the ground, on the carpet. It would be a safe space, and I would just be on the couch reading a book, writing in my journal, doing artwork, whatever it was that I felt like I needed to do to nurture my soul in that moment. As I've gotten older, I've still got a little one at home with me. Ugh, I feel like there's this plant just like on my face. Anyway, now I have a 3-year-old and I'm pretty sure she's an extrovert. But even as an extroverted child, she needs to learn to be able to play alone as well. And so when she's at home with me, we always set about like 30 minutes or an hour where she can play. She can play on my bed if she wants to. She can play next to me. She can play in her room, whatever she wants to do. But she knows that I will sit on my bed. I might have a nap. I might listen to music. I might write, I might read, and that's my time and that's mum's time. And she knows that when I do that, then for the rest of the day, I'm going to be giving her my undivided attention. And for my oldest daughter, she is a full-blown introvert. And because I've been able to communicate with her about introversion, about the needs of the person that's an introvert, she's now able to communicate with me and with her sister when she needs alone time. And she takes herself off to her room and she'll quite happily play for like hours if I let her. And she is just so involved in her little world of imagination, and it's so beautiful. And I'm so proud of her that she can tell me when she needs alone time. And I believe that's because from the get-go, from the moment she was born, I was able to communicate with her that I needed alone time as well, and that's okay. And that even though I'm a mum, I can still be a good mum by having alone time. You can still be a good parent by having alone time. In fact, it will probably make you a better parent. And if you can communicate that to your loved ones, then yeah, I think that's key. I know that having alone time at home with the children is sometimes, not ideal, and you need something a little bit more hardcore than that. Try and schedule at least once a week to get out in nature alone. Figure it out with your partner, if you're single, like with some friends or other family members or whoever. Oh, I just noticed I've got a pimple. It's from all the face masks that we have to wear at the moment. Anyway, get out in nature. Schedule that time in. I live near the beach. I'm lucky in that way. So I try to go for a walk on the beach, feel the sand between my toes, feel the water lap up against my feet, bring my journal, I write, I go to a cafe on my own and I have coffee. Yeah, sometimes you need that a little bit more than just having your child playing quietly next to you. Oh, and with that, I know that all children are different. My children are pretty calm and relaxed, but I feel like that's because of the environment that I set up for them to create that calm, relaxed environment. How many times can I say environment? And you know what? I think I might do a whole other video on setting up your home to be a calm environment. Let me know in the comments if that's something you want me to talk about. Because if you are a highly sensitive person, or you're on the spectrum, or even just an introvert or an empath, then the environment that you're in can really affect your emotions and affect the way you're feeling. And so I believe it's important to make your home a sanctuary and to make it a super calming place. And your children can pick up on those vibes as well. And I believe that their environment can also affect their feelings and their emotions, especially if they're also highly sensitive and empathic. So yeah, I won't talk about that now, but yeah, start thinking about what is your home life like? What is it calming? Are you surrounded by things that you love? Are you surrounded by plants and just calming colors, or do you have clutter around you and mess? And don't get me wrong, if you could see what I can see right now, my house definitely gets messy, but I've learnt the importance of trying to stay on top of it, because when I don't, it affects me in every way, and it affects my kids too. And when it affects my kids, that affects me because I get less alone time. And as an introvert, and we all know this, it's the alone time that's going to recharge us and fill up our batteries. It's actually been a couple of days since I filmed the last video, and I'm only just getting around to being able to leave this paper crane now. Sorry that I'm not looking pretty. I just finished my job. See, this is the thing. When I first started Paper Crane of Hope, all I had with me was my little baby, and all I had to worry about was breastfeeding her and going for walks in the pram. But 5 years later, I'm now a mum of 2 kids. I'm working as a youth worker. I have my own counselling business. I'm housewife extraordinaire. Maybe not. But yeah, basically my life is busier. So it's a lot harder for me to leave paper cranes every day, which is what I used to do. Every day I would leave a paper crane. So often I'm carrying these in my bag for days before I get around to doing it. Anyway, I finished work and I'm heading down to the beach to say goodbye to my friend Jasmine. Hi Jasmine, if you're watching. They're moving away, which is really sad. I was planning on leaving this when I get to the beach, but I think it's going to get dark, which means I'll get crappy photos. So I'm gonna go into Aldi and I'm gonna leave it. I get really nervous leaving paper cranes. I hate people seeing what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna film it. Okay, I'm gonna put my face mask on because I'm respectful, and if it means the little old granny in the shops are gonna feel safer and that I'm respecting them, then I'm completely happy to do that. So yeah, that's my little rant about mask. All right. Oh my God, it's on my eye. Is that better? Okay. Let's do this. Okay, I'm really nervous. I feel like there's people around. Okay, you can see. Yeah, I gotta see. Where am I gonna leave it? Don't want people to see me. Okay. Oh my God. So this is what happens to me. I always panic, especially when I'm in like a supermarket and there was a staff member and he was fully like watching me. And so the first thing I saw was the onions, and I feel like I got the crappiest photo as well. But I can try and edit it. Anyway, I didn't actually need anything from Aldi, but I felt like I couldn't just wander around looking like super suspect. And yeah, I felt like I needed to buy something. So I brought a doormat, a welcome mat. I'll show it to you. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And that's my new doormat that I didn't need. And when I went to the cash register, the lady, she was really funny. She's like, I see
that you're shopping for the essentials.
And I'm like, yeah.
My welcome mat, it's so pretty. I really needed it on a Sunday night.
All right, anyway, paper crane is left. I'm going to make a post and put that on Instagram and you'll be able to see that. And that's the end of my first taking YouTube serious video. I hope you liked it. I'll get better at it. I'll get better at editing as well. And I'll try and make myself look prettier next time. Okay, bye!